Summer is quickly approaching, and what better way to welcome the season in than taking some time to talk about some of the local events happening here in the Tri-State that you can enjoy with your family over the next few months. That's next on WNIN Newsmakers. I'm Jessica Costello, evening news anchor for Eyewitness News. Well, there are plenty of events scheduled for our community to enjoy this summer. Here to talk about downtown Evansville's events is Adam Trinkle. Thanks for joining us today, Adam. We know downtown Evansville is always so busy making sure the summer is packed with summer fun that the whole family can enjoy. What is in store this summer for the River City?
Sure. Well, there's a lot of events that take place downtown, and so part of our work as an organization is to help elevate the messaging and all the events that are taking place downtown. Last year alone, there were over 1,000 events in downtown Evansville. So part of our ongoing mission as an organization is to storytell downtown as an active environment, active neighborhood where that is growing and a destination for not only shopping and dining, but also attractions and nightlife and so on and so forth. But our organization is hosting 3 events that are coming up over the summer months. Our first one is our new night market. We hosted a couple night markets last year, and the reception that we got from the community was really positive.
Great.
People were excited about it. And so this started as really an opportunity to offer what is traditionally offered at the farmers markets at nighttime. So many of the markets, like the market on Main, for example, that takes place every year, is during the lunchtime hours on Wednesdays. So we recognize that limits the ability that some people have to get downtown and do that if they're working or if they they live on the east side or the west side or the north side even. So we started this night market last year. We had 2 that were really successful, and we're adding a 3rd one this year, and it's our first one. It's on Friday, June 14th.
Oh, perfect.
From 5 to 8 p.m., and it's over at a new location that we've never hosted an event before. It's on the 900 block of Main Street. So as a reference point, that's the location to a lot of several new businesses like the Main Street Food and Beverage Hall, the longstanding Someplace Else nightclub, La Mexicana restaurant, and 7 Mile nightclub. So we're really excited to activate that part of downtown and really drive some consumer traffic and hopeful consumer spending at this event.
One thing I don't want to glaze over before I ask you something else that I had planned on was you said 1,000 events planned last year?
Yes. Now that takes into account, any type of event that was hosted at a shop, like a trivia night, ranging from a large concert at the Ford Center. So that is, we totaled it up for our annual report, and we're very confident that it was over 1,000 actually.
Well, I think that's amazing. Somebody that knows, the team that you have behind you too. There's not a really large team. I mean, obviously you guys have volunteers. You have great volunteers that, dedicate their time for events and whatnot. But talk about your team a little bit and what it takes to put on 1,000 events in a year.
Well, and so our organization hosts about 14 events a year, but part of our mission as an organization
partnerships
is
and whatnot,
partnerships and to tell everything that's going on, really be the voice of the downtown neighborhood. And so that's kind of what our role is on our social media channels. Every week we put out a list of all the things happening, and it's not uncommon for there to be at least 20 to 30 events every week happening in downtown Evansville. So, maybe there's a karaoke night, or there's a band playing at a venue, or there's a concert, or there's a convention. We're always letting the community know about those offerings because there really is something for everybody in downtown Evansville.
Absolutely. So downtown Evansville really truly just plays a role in promoting and making sure that the community is involved in any way that they can be, especially during the summer because there's so much to do, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And we talk a lot about our role as an organization as a connector in the neighborhood. So how are we helping to connect the dots? We work closely with our downtown businesses. We have a growing residential population. We're going to be opening a new small-scale dog park in downtown in the next week or so. So all the things that we do, how do we connect our neighborhood and make sure that people know what's happening downtown? We have a small staff of 4 people. They do a great job. We have Joshua Driscoll, who's our clean and safe manager. So when you come downtown, you'll recognize that you don't see litter, it's attractive, there's flowers, it's very vibrant, and that's due to the efforts of our organization. So last year alone, we picked up thousands of bags of litter in downtown Evansville. Joshua leads those efforts, and then we have outstanding event leaders, Allie Turpin and Laura Gobert with our team that really organize all the events that we do and tell the story and all the marketing components of what we do.
Absolutely. Well, let's get to these events because there's a lot to talk about. What are some of the largest events this summer? I know Fireworks on the Ohio is probably one of the largest ones,
Yes.
but what does that look like?
Yeah, so our largest event of the year is Fireworks on the Ohio. This year it's on Thursday, July 4th. Every year it's always on July 4th. And so the routine of the show is pretty much structured the same from year to year. Our organization has organized the fireworks show. I think we're in our 6th year now. A common misconception that the public has is, I think sometimes, is that, you know, this is a city-funded event or tax dollars funded, and that's not the case. We, as an organization, go out and we raise all the funds for this show. Our budget annually is about $60,000 to put on the entire event. And so Fireworks on the Ohio, we want to invite the community to join us. Once again, Bally's Evansville is our presenting sponsor, and we really see it as an opportunity to welcome all people to our neighborhood and enjoy a spectacular, approximately 20-minute fireworks show. The show will take place the same time as usual, around dusk, so 9:15 p.m., and the event will start around 6 p.m. We'll have food trucks along Riverside Drive. New to this year, we're adding some entertainment groups, so we're excited to host some local performance groups. And then even if you're watching this broadcast tonight and you recognize that there may be a performance group out there, whether it's a marching band or a color guard group or whatever, you can reach out to our organization at downtownevansville.com, and we'd love to have you participate in some way and perform. We're going to have free activities for kids, face painting, and just some fun things that is, you know, kind of fill that gap of time before when you get there before the show.
Well, the good thing about that event is the food trucks for me. I love all the options of food, so we'll definitely be there again this year. It's always a fun time. But Fireworks on the Ohio is also a really good example of events that geared towards family, obviously. There's a lot of events that are like that. Are there any, if families are watching right now, parents maybe thinking about what to do with kids this summer, are there events that they should be looking forward to bring their kids to?
Well, I would say our website's a great resource of free attractions that are downtown. Obviously, Mickey's Kingdom. Some of the alleys have cool little installations for families to enjoy. A lot of our shops and restaurants are great for families, but also, of course, a wonderful resource in our community that shouldn't be overlooked is the Cook Family Children's Museum, which is proudly located in downtown Evansville. They're going through a process of even expanding to offer even more services and upgrade some of their exhibits. So they're great partners and always a great, very popular destination, especially for the summer months.
One of the things I'm sure that you guys have to figure out every year is how to make every year different in a way. Obviously, we know events like Fireworks on the Ohio is going to exist, but you're even talking about how to make it a little bit different, right, with the musical acts and whatnot. How do you guys plan, you know, okay, how can we bring this event in and make sure that it's not the same as this event, or this is a brand new event? How does that all work for you guys?
I think a really key thing that we always do after each event is take some time to debrief and collect feedback. So maybe it's from our business owners downtown, but also the community. We work to implement surveys at all of our events the past year. And so we take that feedback and we really, you know, reflect on the event itself and, okay, well, this went well. This is an opportunity or an area for improvement. So it's really important to be self-reflective. It's okay to kind of criticize your work because, you know, you recognize that everybody has their best intentions, and then sometimes, you know, things just don't always work out. You got to shift course. So I think we're really good about that, and our team's good about that. You kind of set the ego aside maybe and say, okay, well, this didn't really work out. We had our best intention. We thought it would, but let's try something different. And so we've kind of built, we feel like a really strong foundation for a lot of our events, but that, to your point, we're always looking to kind of tweak them or change things, make some improvements here or there.
Well, one thing that I know is popular to obviously adults, a younger adult crowd, is the wine walk. Something like that, it seems, comes back every year because it is very popular. Are there events coming up that you want to talk about or promote that maybe draws in a younger adult crowd?
Yeah, so the wine walk is one. It'll happen later in the fall. This year we moved it back intentionally. To your example, last year we thought we were doing something smart by moving it up to August, and then what we encountered was a heat index of 103 degrees.
Yeah.
And so that wasn't the smartest thing to do. So taking back, and reflecting, we moved that to October this year, and it's on a Friday. I think it's October 4th. But that event is very successful. And, some people may say, well, why, wine, right? Yeah, the wine's great, and wine's what gets people to come to the event. But for us, it's that introduction or reintroduction so that people know about our businesses downtown. Time and time again, we hear from folks that say, well, I didn't know that this shop was downtown. So we have to always think of creative ways to not only drive consumer footfall into downtown, but also hopefully some consumer spending into our downtown businesses. And that's really at the core of why we do events, to drive that consumer spending, drive consumer footfall, and then to help people create really special memories in downtown. It's important for us to really, you talked about families. How do we get kids especially comfortable in a downtown environment, in a downtown setting? And so, they'll have those memories for a lifetime of, hey, I came to this event in downtown. I was with my parents and my grandparents, my aunt and uncle. And it's just, that really warm feeling that you get. We experienced it with the total solar eclipse. So we welcomed people from 27 countries, 7 locations outside of the United States. We connected with a family from Wales that we still keep in touch with, and it's just really heartwarming. All those visitors that came said that they were so impressed with our city and the residents and the businesses. So it's a lot of hard work at times, but it's just really reaffirming and very rewarding.
I think it's safe to say that your job goes beyond just planning an event.
Exactly.
It's definitely more than that. Well, if people are watching this, we obviously talked about it a lot. How can they keep up with events in downtown Evansville?
Yeah, I would go to our website, downtownevansville.com. You'll find all the events there and learn more about what our organization does beyond events to really build a more active and inclusive downtown Evansville. And then, of course, if you're on social media, we're pretty active on about every channel, but Facebook and Instagram in particular, you can search Downtown Evansville, Indiana, and it's really a daily log of what's happening here in downtown.
Perfect. Well, Adam, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Abby Dixon is here with us now to discuss what events will be happening this summer in Henderson County. And Abby, thank you so much for being with us.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Of course, we're very excited to talk about Henderson, obviously. Let's get right to it.
Let's do it.
What kind of events can we expect this summer in Henderson?
Yeah, so Henderson has really transformed into like a music festival capital for our entire region. So of course we had Summerfest on Saturday. That was a rockin' time in downtown Henderson. We also have Porch Fest, which is coming up on June 1st. So that's the next event to hit up. South Main Street. Neighbors transform their porches into live music venues. So that's always a lot of fun. I think just really encapsulates our Southern hospitality that you can experience in Henderson. Of course, the Handy Blues Festival is huge.
Yes.
That's coming up Father's Day weekend. And then looking forward to other things going on in the summer, we have our Sandy Lee Watkins Songwriters Festival. So that happens at the end of July. Music writers, songwriters from Nashville that have written the songs that you sing along to on the radio. They come to Henderson. Our downtown restaurants and bars turn into listening rooms, and you can hear these writers tell the stories behind the songs. So that's really unique. And then we always wrap up our summer music festivals with Bluegrass in the Park Folklife Festival in August.
Whenever we talk, I always just get excited just by talking to you because you can feel the energy just about talking about these events. But, with any of these events, are there new details or maybe even a new event that you're looking most forward to?
Yeah, so of course, Summerfest, that was year 3 for Summerfest, so that's a new one. So that it's always exciting to see what's happening there. With Porch Fest, we always have new artists, some of those local staples, but new artists too. And then with Handy, I would say, Big Head Todd is one of the headliners this year, and that's pretty huge. And to be able to see all of these amazing, world-class musicians on that Handy Fest stage for free, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So
A pretty big
Definitely
deal for
don't
the
wanna-
community.
Yes, you will not want to miss that.
Well, when you talk about Porch Fest, I always think, Evansville also does Porch Fest as well. And I just think it's so unique when communities do that because those are local artists
Yeah.
sometimes,
Yeah.
And what a fun way to get the local, music community involved and
Yeah.
then to maybe expose their art too. I mean, that's what a fun thing to do.
It's super cool, and I think what says hospitality more than, whether you're a neighbor or a complete stranger from out of town, but these homeowners saying, come on over to my front porch and enjoy some music, maybe some sweet tea, wine slushies from Boucherie.
Right.
So you can't go wrong
Can't
with
miss
that.
that.
Yeah. So it's just a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Well, the 4th of July is
Yes.
always a big event, I think, in every city. But
Yep.
are there plans to maybe have a big event for the 4th of July, maybe utilize that riverfront?
Absolutely. So the Chamber always does a great job of producing the 3rd of July fireworks show. So the night before the 4th, that will be downtown. Always a huge crowd. Balloon animals, food trucks, activities for kids. And since it's the 3rd, so many of those downtown businesses are open. So you can hop in a local restaurant and enjoy some good food. And then on the 4th of July, our local Collegiate Wooden Bat League team, the Henderson Flash, they will do a fireworks show there in Atkinson Park on July 4th. So you have 2 opportunities, back-to-back nights, to catch some great fireworks in Henderson.
So there's no excuse to miss those.
Exactly.
Well, we talked about the WC Handy Fest coming up in June.
Right.
That's a festival we all know and love.
Yes.
Are there any new details that you can share or just something that you're excited about with the Handy Fest?
Yeah, so something that I would say about Handy Fest, it's the WC Handy Blues and Barbecue Festival. And so the timing is just right. We have just partnered with 11 of our tourism partners from around Western Kentucky, and we have launched the West Kentucky Barbecue Belt.
That's hot off the press, you said.
Hot off the press, just launched today. So while you're experiencing that good food and good blues music in Henderson, you'll definitely want to grab a digital pass for this trail at wkybbq.com. And it will open your door to 45 barbecue joints in 18 cities all around Western Kentucky. And you can you can plan an entire road trip, just cruising down these back roads, trying these mom and pop barbecue joints that, it's really the flavor of our area. So we're definitely excited to launch that just in time for all these visitors to come in for the Blues Festival.
What led to that idea? That's a really unique idea. Leading into summer, road trips, that's perfect. A digital pass, something that we've got our phones in our hands all the time. So what led to that?
Yeah, so I think whenever, a culinary experience is so indicative of, what the local culture is. And there's no denying that in Western Kentucky, that culinary experience that has been around for generations is barbecue. And whether you have, a local spot like Thomason's Barbecue or J&B, or something that's a little new and trendier like Homer's Barbecue in Henderson, they're all rooted in that same thing, and it's that generations before them have been crafting these recipes. So we're just really excited to share that local flavor with the rest of the world. So with the digital pass, you can check in to all of these restaurants. You can earn points for every check-in. And once you receive a certain number of points, you can turn those points in for some prizes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
well, we all love prizes.
Absolutely. Who doesn't love a free t-shirt?
Well, let's also talk about some of the events, maybe for, most of these events are very family oriented.
Yes.
You can bring the kids. Are there certain events that are more geared towards kids that, parents maybe watching need to know about so that they can plan their kiddos? Yeah,
so I would definitely say, the most kid-friendly event that we've talked about is Bluegrass in the Park.
Right.
And of course, we know about the music and that bluegrass music that's so strongly rooted in Western Kentucky. But the folk life portion of the festival is so incredible. So we have local artisan vendors there, but we also have folks who are demonstrating these crafts that sometimes we think are crafts of the past. So like soap making, woodworking, they have old games that kids can play, butter churning, and these things that have just been passed down from generations. I mean, that's the theme for today, I guess. But your kids can come to the festival. You don't just have to sit on a blanket and hope that they stay still. They can get that hands-on education and activities, and they'll have a lot of fun doing it too.
Yeah, and that's important. So
Yeah, there's usually a petting zoo.
Oh my gosh.
I know, so baby goats.
Sold.
You know, yeah.
Was there anything else in terms of events, any of those details? I know that was a really exciting one to talk about. Is there anything else that you'd like to mention in regards to events this summer?
Yeah, so I will say there's something going on in Henderson all the time. We've just scratched the surface today. So definitely head to our website, hendersonky.org. We have a great calendar of events. It should be easy to find what you're looking for. So whether you're coming for one of our major events or if you're just planning kind of a day trip on a weekend, there's something going on. You can find it there.
Perfect. Well, Abby, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
There are plenty of events scheduled for our community to enjoy this summer. We caught up with Carrie Mobley to find out more about events in Posey County.
Well, this summer we have a lot of exciting events coming up, starting with the New Harmony Firefly Festival. That is going to be on June 7th and 8th right here in beautiful New Harmony. This is a great event that's fairly new that we celebrate each year. In the state of Indiana, the firefly is the state bug, and Thomas Say, the scientist, actually studied and founded that insect in the town of New Harmony. So we like to celebrate it and kind of give it some attention each year. And just with the beautiful locations throughout New Harmony, we have some beautiful spots to witness the fireflies as they put on their show. They only last a couple weeks, so it's a really good time to come out and visit. We have golf carts that take you along the paths to some of our highly dense areas. And then we also have fun events going on throughout the town, through the restaurants and the shops. So it's really fun for everybody to participate and celebrate the beautiful firefly. That weekend, we also have the New Harmony Antique Show that is happening. This is an annual event, but we are adding the New Harmony Car Cruisin'. So we are going to be having lots of cool cars lining the streets of New Harmony while the antique show is going on. So those two things kind of go hand in hand together. We have antique cars and we also have the antiques that you can shop for. So we're really excited to welcome the cars to town this year. This year, the fireworks display will be on July 5th, and that is sponsored by the town of Mount Vernon. The Mount Vernon riverfront is just a gorgeous place to go visit at any time, but especially during the firework display. There's going to be concessions and people set up chairs, and as soon as it gets dark, they take the fireworks out on the boats and do their beautiful display, and it's something that everyone in town looks forward to every year on the riverfront. So this year, Mount Vernon is doing something really special. Every Monday evening, they're having market nights on the riverfront. This is perfect for families to go to in the evenings on Mondays when you don't want to cook or you don't feel like sitting at the house. Go to the Mount Vernon riverfront. They're going to have live music, vendors, food, so you can kind of knock it out all at once from 4 to 7 on Monday nights on the Mount Vernon riverfront. And also just any time during the summer, Harmony State Park and the town of New Harmony are just really fun to go explore, to get the kids out of the house. There's plenty of walking trails, bike paths, you can rent golf carts. So it's a way to get outdoors and have some family fun. So the largest event in New Harmony of the year is Kunstfest. It's our annual German festival that always takes place the third weekend in September. And it's another way for us to celebrate our German heritage as well as our American heritage combined. It's also a great event because we love to have visitors in town to visit our local shops because they're so unique and it's such a fun place to shop around and eat. So this gets a bunch of people out here to celebrate that and check out our town while also shopping for vendors and having some of the great food we have out that whole weekend. We have a beer garden this year, and then we're also going to have a lot of live music, so it's going to be a really great year to come out and visit for Kunstfest. Visitors can go to visitposeycounty.com to learn about all of our upcoming events. Also, they can find out about our places to stay, things to eat, and things to see and do.
Hopefully now your calendar is packed with summer fun. Thanks to everyone who came to speak about all of the exciting events going on this summer. Make sure to catch us next time on WNIN Newsmakers.